Good evening. I'm Jeff Winkle, Senior Managing Director at First Republic Bank. I am very pleased to welcome you to Boys and Girls Clubs of San Francisco's 2021 Virtual Gala program. As a presenting sponsor of this event and longtime partner of Boys and Girls Clubs of San Francisco, we at First Republic Bank are so very proud to support the award-winning youth development work that helps so many families, and we truly hope you enjoy the program this evening.
Justice for all, just ain't specific enough. One son died, and spiriters are visiting us. Truman living in us, resistance is us. That's why Rosa sat on the bus. That's why we walk through Ferguson with our hands up. When it go down, we women and man up. They say stay down, and we stand up. Shots, we on the ground. The camera pans up. King pointed to the mountaintop, and we ran up. One day, when the glory comes, it'll be yours. It'll be yours. Punish me with brutality. So talk to me. So you can see. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Someone who walks before I crawl. For me, it's everything and nothing at all. It seems I'm unraveling now. I'm just babbling, but I will keep on traveling. Whoa.
You should see, you know how I feel. Treasure running free, you know how I feel. The blossom on the trees, that's how I feel.
When you walk in the club, people have hopes and dreams for you. You cannot give up on yourself because they have not given up on you. I strive to be a better daughter, to be a better student, to be a better leader, to be better. Why settle to be just average when we are meant to be great? Great futures start here in the Boys and Girls Club.
I'ma run around to stay away from that girl. I don't know what she'll do. Keep away from Sue.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here with us. We appreciate the commitment that so many of you have to this organization. This evening is an opportunity to celebrate, to reflect on the challenges we have overcome, and to look forward. Our theme is celebrating the resilience, adaptability, and determination of Boys and Girls Clubs of San Francisco. You will hear us say over and over, thank you. Thank you to our donors, thank you to our board and trustees, and thank you to our families and youth. But most of all, thank you to our staff. You're going to see some terrific performances tonight and hear from a group of Excelsior teens. I expect you will enjoy all of these very much. I want to appreciate and thank all the young people who supported tonight's event. Of course, we wish we were all together, but we are excited to reconnect with you nonetheless, so that you know what's happening at Boys and Girls Clubs of San Francisco. We're grateful for your past investment, and we need your future support. Our goal for tonight is both to raise money and to keep you connected and engaged. Boys and Girls Clubs of San Francisco runs on philanthropic support, so we cannot be shy about asking. I'd like to recognize and thank our lead sponsors for tonight. Thank you to First Republic Bank for being the presenting sponsor. Thank you to Sixth Street Partners and Eastdale Secured for their long-term support. I want to recognize PwC, this year's dinner sponsor, and McKinsey & Company, our club mentor sponsor, for their early commitment and support. We received some great support from Hartman Studios, Impact Lighting, and Companiera Catering. Many thanks as well to the returning companies who renewed their gift this year and have continued to support our work despite our move from an in-person event to a virtual event. Kudos and thank you to our event chairs and board members, Michael Neruda, Cameron Flager, and Robert Schiff. And to our after-party co-chairs, Nicole Guido Estrada and Sugu Venkatachalom. There's a QR code on the corner of the screen with a link to a donation page. This is about as easy as we can make it. Please open up the camera and point to the reader, to the QR reader, to be connected in order to make a gift. Your support tonight is going to support our work as we get started in our new fiscal year, which starts in just a few days. So thank you for being generous, and thank you for helping us get this new year started in the right way. You'll hear more from me a little later in the program. Thank you again.
Con palabras sencillas hoy quiero decirte me gustas de pies a cabeza. Es más claro que el agua que te necesito. Me gustas todita completa. Y es que tu belleza es incomparable. La naturaleza fue buena contigo. Hice la elección correcta al elegirte para estar siempre conmigo. Me gusta todo de ti, tu sonrisa, tus ojos, tu cara y esa forma tan dulce de hablarme. Si me besas me llevas al cielo, siento ser el aire. Me gusta todo de ti, eres única por dentro y por fuera. A tu lado todo es tan perfecto. Eres más de lo que yo merezco y sin duda alguna cuánto me gusta. Y es que tú es incomparable. La naturaleza fue buena contigo. Hice la elección correcta al elegirte para estar siempre conmigo. Me gusta todo de ti, tu sonrisa, tus ojos, tu cara y esa forma tan dulce de hablarme. Si me besas me llevas al cielo, siento ser el aire. Me gusta todo de ti, eres única por dentro y por fuera. A tu lado todo es tan perfecto. Eres más de lo que yo merezco y sin duda alguna cuánto me gusta.
Boys and Girls Clubs of San Francisco has been a critical resource for our San Francisco community for 130 years. Generation after generation, the club has continuously innovated and evolved to meet the changing needs of children and families. Each new decade brought new challenges and opportunities, some local, some national, and some global. From the Industrial Revolution to the Digital Revolution, through 2 world wars, a Great Depression, 2 devastating earthquakes, and now a second pandemic, the club has been a force for good in kids' lives. One thing is clear. Through the pandemic, youth development programs like Boys and Girls Clubs of San Francisco were an essential part of the support system that helped this city overcome the worst days of the pandemic. When others went dark, we shined. We know that the work of out-of-school time providers like us is critical and hugely impactful at all times, but too many people don't see it or don't understand it. This time, the contribution was clear and apparent, and the impact was undeniable.
I'm proud of the staff for their resiliency and leadership in a time of crisis, and their ability to pivot and remain flexible throughout every turn of the pandemic. They were determined to provide stability and consistency to our kids when they needed it the most.
Everyone knows the old adage in real estate that it's location, location, location. In our line of work, it's relationships, relationships, relationships. And we've got excellent relationships with our young people, with families, with our neighborhoods. And these are going to be key to the work that we do to help kids and families and communities recover.
I'm a mom to Mina, who's a 10-year-old. When she came here, the first night, she was crying and said she felt like she got her childhood back. It was a sense of normalcy and, feeling of safety that she didn't have for a year.
We have individual relationships with our kids and our parents and our community, and that creates support that you don't find anywhere else.
One of the challenges during the pandemic was the volatile social and political challenges that the staff had to face. And despite all of this, they showed up every day for our young people, and I'm always impressed by that.
The club focuses on the whole child. We are passionate about educational success, but we are also passionate about health and wellness, youth leadership, job readiness, sports and fitness, and the arts. And we embrace the joys of childhood.
Descubro como un segundo hogar para mis hijos, por la confianza, la protección, seguridad, el ambiente y el staff que trabaja ahí son como un segundo padre para ellos.
As we work through the final chapters of the pandemic, our holistic approach to youth development will be vitally important to the long-term health and well-being of all club kids.
What's happened with this pandemic, it's a prolonged learning loss. The wraparound services of the Boys and Girls Club can change that completely.
We're not replicating what happens at schools, far from it, but we are a critical complement to what happens during the school day, and we hope that schools now understand that in a much more profound way. Everyone also knows that young people are experiencing a lot of mental health challenges.
In response to the pandemic, the organization has put a huge commitment of resources behind an expansion into mental health.
And this is critical work to help our young people to recover.
Through this pandemic, all of us at Boys and Girls Clubs of San Francisco felt a strong sense of responsibility. We knew we had to effectively execute on our mission through the heart of the crisis and ensure that clubs could emerge strong and effective after the pandemic.
The Delta variant has added some new challenges when we hope to be fully emerged from the pandemic. Everyone here knows that we can lean on one another because of the flexibility and resilience that we have established over the past year and a half.
The relationships we've built and the support that we've had to have for each other in the community, in our families, and in our staff will just continue to grow.
The thing that I like most about my job is the relationship that I have with all of my colleagues. The fact that I can tap into all of these resources and I don't feel by myself.
I'm incredibly grateful to the philanthropic community for the support that they provided through the pandemic. It was so important. When people look at the way in which we stood in the gap for kids, families, and neighborhoods, they can see the importance of nonprofits that are flexible and nimble and adaptive. I hope that that sticks with folks for a long time and that philanthropists continue to invest in young people.
I'm very optimistic about the strength of our organization. We have once again shown our determination and our resilience through very challenging times.
I know this organization will continue to be creative, will continue to adapt, will continue to be determined to stand by kids and families and to face whatever challenges are ahead.
Hello everyone, my name is Earl DeClet. I am the Citywide Director of High School Services here at the Boys and Girls Clubs of San Francisco. Here at BGCSF, we are dedicated to supporting youth as they learn to share their unique perspective. Today, I am super fortunate to be here with 3 of our team members from our Excelsior Clubhouse. We are going to hear about what the last 18 months have been like for them and what they're excited about for the future. So before we get started, let's first introduce our three panelists. Let's go around and say our first name and what year you are in school.
Hi, my name is Kelly. I attend Burden High School and I'm a senior.
Hi, my name is Christabel and I'm a junior at Lowell High School.
Hi, my name is Noah and I'm a junior at Burton High School.
All right, well, Kelly, Christabel, Noah, thank you all again for agreeing to participate in this panel. Shall we dive right into this thing or what? All right, let's do it. All right, so our first question is going to be for Kelly. So the question is, when we look at the last year, and especially as it relates to the teen community here and the pandemic, something that really stands out is that you all showed up almost every day to the club. What did being a member of the Excelsior teen community throughout COVID mean to you? And how did it shape your entire kind of COVID experience?
I feel like with COVID, the pandemic really took a toll on all of us. So we didn't know we're going to have a summer or school year at the club because of mandates and being told to stay at home. Being a member at the Excelsior teen community made me realize how much the club has impacted my life. And it made my COVID experience a lot better because the Boys and Girls Club fought to stay open for kids to use resources, either to be supported in a school year or a summer program. With the pandemic going on, there's still many teens that still want to come in just to see faces, even there isn't a physical interaction.
Yeah, I'm glad that that experience kind of helped you throughout this entire pandemic. All right, our next question is going to be for Christabel. So now that we are in a different phase of the pandemic and school is back in person, what keeps you coming back to the club, and how are your club friendships different from those that you have at school?
Yeah, so what keeps me from coming back to the club is community and friends. I feel like especially at school, I don't have that many close friends, and the club gives me a sense of community and family.
I can kind of see in your title too, right? 10-year Excelsior Clubhouse member, right? And so you've spent a lot of time at that club. So I can see why you're really connected to the space. All right, question number 3, Noah, this one's for you. So BGCSF has decided to put a great deal of focus on the mental health and social emotional wellness of our club members. How does that resonate with you? How does that sound to you?
To me, I think it's an amazing decision that they've made to put more focus on mental health, because to me, mental health is something that's very real and is very important to everyone, no matter how old you are. And it's also something that doesn't have a lot of light shed onto it, because I feel like today's teens and the pandemic that we're in, I feel like everyone at some point, our mental health hit a rock bottom. And I would like to thank the club for opening that up to teens, because some teens or a lot of teens kind of feel like they can't reach out to anyone because they feel like they're going to be judged or shunned. But club is a place where we already all feel safe.
Now that we're kind of back and we're trying to again reemerge out of the pandemic and really focusing on these issues, I'm hoping that more teens can take advantage of the opportunities that we're presenting as well. Thanks. All right, next question. We're going to go back to you, Christabel. So how can teens, not just the three of you, but just teens at other clubs or at school, best support each other as we kind of work our way out of the pandemic? And also, how can the club best support our teen community as we kind of, again, emerge out of the pandemic?
Yeah, to answer the first part, I feel like teens can help each other by discussing the challenging aspects of adjusting to in-person school again. I know for me personally, I've had some trouble adjusting to the workload and just the fast pace of how school is going now. And another thing is checking in with each other. I think it helps for me, at least for me, to know that there are other people who are going through this as well, and that I'm not alone. To answer the second part, I feel like the club can better support the teens. One thing that I personally want is having our behavioral health specialist, Debbie, back in club more often, especially because after a long day, especially like today, I had a test and I wasn't sure if I did well on it or not. So after a very long day like that, I feel like I should be talking to a professional about it, especially if I have these daunting thoughts in my head.
For sure. Yeah, like again, it's really important to be able to have that outlet for teens, right? And Debbie and the whole behavioral health services team are the real MVPs. All right, our final question. This one's going to go back to you, Kelly. In addition to managing the pandemic, the teen community has also had to navigate other social challenges, right? And so we understand that you've participated in some work around Stop Asian Hate advocacy. Can you talk a little bit about your perspective on this important social issue? And if there are any ways in which your membership at the club has helped you advocate or supported you?
I would say the first time I heard about the Asian American attacks, it saddened me knowing that it wasn't just happening at San Francisco, it was happening around the world. And the membership at the clubhouse really just gave me a chance to join PAC and advocate for the Asian American community. And we were able to talk about like facts and how others can express themselves during, and it's like a safe environment for everybody with different perspectives.
Yeah, that's great. It's tough, right? To not only be dealing with a pandemic, but then you have all of these other social issues that are really just kind of exacerbating everybody and just making everything a lot tougher to kind of get through the day. Well, thank you all for your incredible insight on things. Christabel, Noah, and Kelly, you all did an amazing, amazing job. I always love hearing from our teens, and it makes me feel optimistic really about the future and the strength of our community. So thank you so much to the three of you again for spending some time with us. Let's give yourselves a round of applause. Nice job. Okay, y'all.
Hi, my name is Isabel, and I've been a Don Fisher Clubhouse member for nearly 4 years. I performed on the stage at the Gala in 2018 and 2019 and graduated from the Urban School of San Francisco this spring. I recently moved down to Los Angeles to pursue my passions of singing and songwriting full-time, and I'm currently working on my debut EP, which I cannot wait to share with the world. So, hello from Los Angeles, and I'm so excited to be singing tonight with my dear friend Ramses, otherwise known as the Artist Ram.
Hi, my name is Ramses. I've been a member of Don Fisher Clubhouse in Camp Mendocino for about 6 years. I just graduated from Gateway High School this spring, and I'm in the process of moving to UC Santa Cruz. I'm going to be studying biomolecular engineering and bioinformatics. Music is my passion, and I was lucky to find Notes for Notes music studio at the Don Fisher Clubhouse. I've been able to write and perform and sing with artists just like Isabel with what you're going to be hearing today. So today, Isabel and I are going to perform the original piece, No Loving, which was released about mid-July. If you guys like it, come and check it out on Spotify, Apple Music. It's everywhere. My artist name is The Artist Ram, and I hope you enjoy it.
I've been getting pretty tired of the games you play. I can't keep up, beating myself down to a pulp. I know they say you can't fight fire with fire, but water just ain't cutting it. Add injury to insult. So I try to talk to you, but the words just don't come through. And I'm drowning in the silence, and the path keeps leading back to you, and I'm stuck on this track. We ignored all the sirens. I keep calling, you keep folding. I keep trying, there's no loving. I keep calling.
I'm being honest, I don't really know how to start this. I got no friend, just a mattress, but I'll make it work, that's a promise. I don't have a lot to my name, please don't put me to shame. There's not a lot I can claim, but you know that I'm gaining my fame. With you by my side, I cannot change. Don't you wanna be the first to know my name? Know my name, know my name. I'm sorry that I missed your call last night. I don't wanna get in another fight. Please don't leave, oh please don't leave. I don't want you out my sight. You keep calling, I keep folding. You keep trying, there's no loving. You keep calling, I keep folding. You keep trying, there's no loving.
Hi again, everyone. Once more, thank you for joining us. We are grateful to the commitment that so many of you have to this organization. Again, I want to recognize and thank our teens for their participation in tonight's event. Youth voice and self-expression are key focus areas for Boys and Girls Clubs of San Francisco. We very purposely chose tonight's theme, celebrating the resilience, adaptability, and determination of Boys and Girls Clubs of San Francisco. Each word has its own strong meaning to us, and as we think back over what we've been through these past 18 months. We successfully navigated through the darkest days of COVID-19 because across the broad constituency of Boys and Girls Clubs, people valued and cared about the work we do. To all our youth who participated, to the families who trusted us, to all our donors and volunteers who supported us, thank you. Through the pandemic, our board and our trustees have been terrific every step of the way. Our staff have been true heroes, and you've heard us say that a lot tonight. You form a lasting impression about people in tough times. My respect and appreciation for Boys and Girls Clubs of San Francisco staff could not be higher. I'm grateful to work alongside such a great board and staff. In the brief time I have, I'm going to talk a bit about the work of Boys and Girls Clubs and reflect a bit on the world we find ourselves in. Obviously, 2020 was tough for everyone, but it was brutally tough for some. And 2021, while better and different, has also been extremely challenging for many, especially those on the front lines and those trying to lead and drive things forward. COVID is clearly the headline, but it's hardly the full story. Harsh inequities exposed in our society, racism and xenophobia, political violence, and natural disasters that are more destructive and more frequent than ever before. All these things have made these past 18 months a really challenging time. We saw systems and institutions that we thought were durable fracture under pressure. We saw people in power cheat and lie in the most obvious ways. More than tough, this was a traumatizing time for many. Sadly, many of those traumatized were kids. As we push through what we all hope are the final chapters of the pandemic, I encourage all of us to take some time to reflect on what has happened and what is next. On behalf of all of us at the club, we hope that you give yourselves and those you love credit for the personal sacrifices you made. And we hope that you mourn whatever loss you might have endured. We all are eager to get past COVID-19. And because we are, we talk about getting back to normal. But should we be getting back to normal? Was normal right for us as individuals and right for us as a society? We need to remember that for many people, normal wasn't good and normal wasn't working well at all. At the club, we are ready and eager to attack the work ahead of us. As an organization, we will continue to be resilient, adaptive, and determined, as tonight's theme indicates. The recovery from the pandemic will be long for many of our youth, families, and communities. That is just a fact, and one we wish were not true. All of us need to realize and face the sad fact that in a crisis of any kind, those with the least are always forced to endure the most. As you have heard already, the club is laser focused on academic success and the social emotional wellness of our club members. We have added 11 new positions to address these two monumentally important areas of the work. Additionally, you will see us focus on youth empowerment, job readiness with earning potential, financial literacy to promote economic mobility and wealth creation for our kids and families, healthy lifestyles, and sports, fitness, and play. Beyond our programs and services for today's club members, you can expect us to focus on our staff and on opportunities to expand the services of the club. We have great people with the right combination of skill, passion, determination, integrity, and work ethic. We are determined to sustain our people in this work. Burnout is all too real, and we must find creative ways to combat it. We will continue to invest in learning and development, so our staff have all the skills to do today's work at a high level, but also so that they can build a career in youth development and nonprofits. I'm also happy to say that as a board and staff, we are determined to expand our reach and grow our impact when and where it makes sense. To start with, I'm pleased to share that despite the many challenges we were facing, earlier this year we added a new location, a school-based club on the top of Hunters Point Hill. And we are getting close to breaking ground on a new state-of-the-art clubhouse in the Sunnydale community in Viz Valley, near the Cal Palace, a community we have served for 30 years. And we will continue to explore other opportunities to reach more youth in the most effective way possible. In his book, Good to Great, the business author and Boys and Girls Clubs of San Francisco alum, Jim Collins, talks about preserving what's core while stimulating progress. That's our plan moving forward. There are things about Boys and Girls Clubs of San Francisco that are so core to who we are that they should never change. Beyond these things, we will challenge ourselves to stimulate progress in ways big and small. We need you with us. We hope that as we rise to the challenges ahead, that you will rise with us. I'm grateful to all of you for the support and time that you give to this club, and then that you give to those that this club serves. I wish you all the best, and thank you again.